So today we have something special, the OnePlus Open Apex Edition. It is a red colorway, so let's go ahead and check this out. So what is up, guys? Nick here, helping you to master your technology. Today we're going to take a look at this limited edition Apex Edition OnePlus Open. Full transparency, OnePlus did send this phone out for review. However, everything I am saying in this video is of my own opinion and my own experience. So let's go ahead and get into the box right here. Now, the OnePlus Open launched in 2023 and was their first entry into the foldable space, and they absolutely knocked it out of the park. They're actually so far ahead in terms of the design that other phones are now catching up in the foldable space. So they decided that we're going to just do another colorway this year. There's another big upgrade for the OnePlus Open. You'll see we do have 16 gigabytes of RAM that was on it before, but 1 terabyte ROM. That's going to make that split screen multitasking even better. And this is the Crimson Shadow Apex Edition. So let's go ahead and get into the phone now. And let's take a look at this glorious color really quickly. Nice packaging, very nice presentation. Let me get that out of the frame. Okay, just get out of here. So you can see right here, the Apex is the red. That's gonna be based on a Hasselblad camera that was an iconic camera. That's where it was inspired from, but it's got like a faux leather material here, and it's just a really gorgeous red. And it's also accented with a crimson shadow color here, which is like a dark gray, but definitely looks very classy, very premium. Also, there's a diamond cut alert slider right here. Let me zoom in on that thing right there. Let's go ahead and look. It's also accented by an orange. So not only do some phones not even give you alert slider, this one gives you an alert slider, but also is accented in orange. So a really, really nice material right there for the OnePlus Open. Pretty cool. All right, so let's go and turn on this OnePlus Open Apex Edition right here. And there we go. And let's see what else comes in the box. Now, this phone is going to be available tomorrow, August 8th, and it does come for sale at $18.99, but that's not the actual price. You can use code 1TB for life, all in caps, during the checkout process to get $300 off, making this effectively $15.99. But that's not all. You also can go ahead and get an instant $100 off by just trading in any device, any Android device, any like phone, something like that. So you're pretty good. So OnePlus was kind enough to include a case in the box. And this case, let me tell you, also matches the color of the phone. So it's quite nice. And these cases are, while they might look flimsy here on camera, they're actually pretty good. They're perfectly designed for the OnePlus Open, and they don't add a ton of weight to the product either. Looking in here, we also get a USB-C to USB-C, a welcome guide, some more benefits. They're going to talk a little bit about the Red Cable Club in here. You get some OnePlus stickers in there, and you also get your SIM card tool. In addition, you also get this SuperVOOC charger, which is going to charge this thing faster than a lot of phones out there. So they're not ripping you with no charger. You're getting the charger in the box. So effectively, you're looking at a $14.99 phone right here. And also, if you want to get the green or the black OnePlus Open, those are also coming down to $13.99 with a temporary price cut. And also with those OnePluses in the green or the black, you can also get a $100 instant discount. So that's going to be the cheapest ever at $12.99. This one's a little more because you have more storage and you have this new limited color option right here. So let's talk more about the body and the design. Take a closer look. Let's give you some really close looks. You can see the faux leather texture right there. Quite nice. You'll also see right around the camera ring, there's a nice painted red there. And then on these sides, of course, the crimson. And you'll see right here, if we go to the side, there's a fingerprint sensor right there. We also have our volume rocker there. And at the bottom, we do have a USB-C, and we have some audio as well as a microphone. In addition to that, we also do have ourselves a SIM card slot. The OnePlus Open has an IR blaster as well on this phone. It's actually right there on this side. And I've already tried it out. It works pretty well. And then one of the things that's really nice about this phone is because they use a single spine hinge on here, it's actually called the Flexion hinge. It actually makes the phone lighter because on the internal components of this body, they're actually using less parts, way less than a lot of other manufacturers of foldables. So what that allows you to do is have not only a durable folding phone right here, but you also have it feel much lighter while having a large screen on the inside and on the cover display. So it really strikes me as how normal the front screen feels, but how light the body feels. This feels about as light as like a 6.7 inch flagship smartphone out there, like your standard 6.7, 6.8 inch phone. That's about how this feels in the weight. Thickness wise though, it's about 11.9 millimeters thick when it is closed, but when it's open, it's actually almost as thin as some of the thinnest tablets on the market. So it's about 5.9 millimeters thin. This camera bump does stick out quite a bit, so I like to see improvements there to get the thinness down a bit. But definitely what's housed inside of there with the Hasselblad setup is probably the most flagship level grade camera I've seen on a foldable, at least in the US, that's available in the US. And you'll see right there, a lot of shining going on right there. Definitely exudes a high level of premium on this product. They also label the f-stops on here for each camera. So pretty cool. Pro XDR displays on the front and on the inside. And this carries over the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 from the original OnePlus Open launch. So this is not an entirely new phone. This is a special edition version product. 16 gigs of RAM on this phone does allow it to have definitely more headway for letting it last longer and to even use AI-based applications and things of that sort. So I definitely recommend 16 gigs of RAM for phones in 2024 if you really want to go the distance. This one has plenty of space and storage and RAM, so very, very high quality specs there. All right, so let's talk about the displays here. So for the cover display, you're looking at a fluid super OLED display here, so definitely really nice. This is a LTPO display and it's 120 hertz. It's also Dolby Vision and it's 2800 nits peak. Yes, that's on the cover display. This one is actually about 6.31 inches and it's very, very sharp here as well. 431 pixels per inch, which means that sharper than a lot of foldables out there. But what really strikes me and I really like about it is how nice it feels in the hand and how normal it feels. It just feels like a normal phone on the front, more so than some other narrow foldables. And it just feels great to hold. The aspect ratio is nice. It's sharp. It's super bright. It's amazing. But where this phone really comes to life is right in here. This is one of the largest looking panels on the inside of a foldable on the market. So we go ahead, it's almost 8 inches. So it's like 7.82 inches on the inside. This also is 120 hertz. It also hits an incredibly high brightness of 2800 nits peak. It's also a flexible AMOLED display on the inside. And it also has a really high pixels per inch at like around 426. Again, like most foldables though, there are black bars due to the aspect ratio of foldable smartphones. But definitely it's quite nice. There is a camera cutout over there that is kind of noticeable, but you don't really pay attention to it much. It really doesn't have any real major issues. It's even got pretty thin bezels. Again, if they would find a way to get rid of the cutout altogether, that would make it a full screen, but that's not really affecting the actual usability of the panel. So it's been excellent. Also, they have these great multitasking split view features that allow you to split apps. We'll show that a little bit later in software. But really great. Let's take a look at the wallpapers here before I stop talking about display. And you'll see there's plenty of them available. Also go ahead and come on the inside and let me show you why I really like this foldable. Because the crease is nearly invincible. This is one of the best iterations I've ever seen, and still I haven't seen a phone beat this phone in the crease department. This is the best crease on any foldable I've seen. So it's basically invincible. If I look on the light, you could see it right there. It's very minimal, barely noticeable crease. Bring this out here. We also have these split screen multitasking features in the software. And then you can also bring a third one over right here. Let's go over here and take a look at all. These are going to be all your applications. And then we could scroll over here. And how about we bring in 3D Mark, for example. You can drag and add a third one. Then it'll tell you 2 apps in split view. You can also bring them down like this and they'll be over there, stored up over there. You can bring one over like this, back like that. I mean, there's just so much to do over here. You can switch it out with a different application. It's just a really fun experience grab all four, and you can have all all three applications here right front and center. What a multitasking beast this thing is right here with that split screen mode. It really is unlike anything else on the market in terms of the way you multitask. Also, the OnePlus Pad 2 is able to do that as well for a lot cheaper than this phone. So if you want a OnePlus Pad 2, you can get one of those and still do those multitasking features. So when covering the software, this is OxygenOS 14, and this is the Android 14. This phone also does have the older Snapdragon, so it's going to be not as fast as like maybe the all-new Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, but we do have very good performance because OnePlus does a good job with optimizing the OxygenOS and the Google software together to give you a pretty buttery smooth experience. So I don't really have an issue. This also has its own isolated security chip as well as a VIP mode, which can turn off all cameras, microphones, everything if you want to be super, super, super secure. So they have a lot of great features in that sense. But the layout is very much like the OnePlus Pad on here, the OnePlus Pad 2. You have your foldable features, your different wallpapers, your home screens, your lock screens, different settings in display like screen color modes where you can change it between Pro, Vivid, Natural. You can really tweak it a lot. Lots of eye comfort stuff. This also has a 1440 PWM, so it's definitely not going to harm you with the eyes and headaches and stuff like that. An adaptive tone display. You can change the fonts right here. There's a ton to do. This is a fun phone. It just keeps going with the features while still looking kind of simple. So the whole layout is not very complex either. So it's very user friendly, but also very feature packed. If we hit the apps over here, you have app management, cloner, and then they have different battery saving techniques. You can see different power saving modes, different accessibility modes. The list goes on. You can schedule power off and on. They have their own Zen space for those of you who are on your phone too much and you need some more Zen in your life. Pretty cool overall. So I just really, really like the layout. I really like the features that come with this. It's just simple and it just gives you a lot of features that really enhance the experience of just the vanilla version of Android. Plus, if you go over here, you'll see have a pretty nice layout over here. And you can see if we edit tiles, there is plenty of different features in here, including bedtime modes. We do have live caption, the IR remote, and also get some different toggles based on the apps you download, Dolby Atmos, assisted ball. We do have super power saving modes. There are high performance modes as well on here for gaming. A phone that can really, really go to town with the features, performance, almost anything you want to do on here, it's ready for it. Media, it's ready. Gaming, it's ready. Tablet use, it's ready. Regular phone use, it's definitely ready. Great camera. It's ready. It's ready for just about anything. There's only one con. It doesn't have stylus support. If you want to do drawing and stuff, this is not the best option for that. That's an area I wish OnePlus would add support for, is maybe support for the OnePlus Stylo or Stylo 2, or maybe get a way to get a stylus in here because it would just enhance the experience overall of this phone. Now with this OxygenOS, you are looking at 3 years of major updates, and we're also looking at an overall 4 years of security updates for this software. While I'm discussing this, I am showing you other areas around the phone, but definitely you are looking at a pretty good amount of years of updates. But 3 major for security is not as much as the competition, so that's an area we can see improvements. Let's get longer software support. All right, so the performance is so good on this phone, but the thing is it doesn't come with the latest chip. Because this is not an all new phone. This is last year's phone with a new color, but it does have more storage, and that makes it run better because the more storage you have, the more space in the background it has for continuing to keep it operating smoothly. So it should be a little better than the 512 gig just because of that extra headroom with the storage. But overall, I'm not going to say that it's any faster than some of the competitors because it really isn't. But it is really smooth, and it's not going to really let you down. It has blazing quick performance. It always has, and it continues to have. So we've hit a maturity point in performance. We don't really need like way faster all the time at these days. But definitely, I would like to see Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 or 8 Gen 4, whatever the next chip is for the upcoming successor to this phone. Storage is super high, so even with all my apps that I put in, I still have tons of storage left. I haven't done a lot on this phone just yet, but definitely the OS doesn't take up a ton of room. There is a huge amount of storage on this phone right here that will definitely go the distance in terms of keeping you having all your files, all your games, all your apps you're going to be never running out of storage on this phone. Pretty sure about that. I also want to talk about the VIP mode on here. This is an exclusive feature of the OnePlus Open. It does allow privacy protection where the camera and the microphone are disabled. Hardware level security. There's an independent security chip on here. So definitely this is a nice inclusion to this phone for those of you who are really concerned about security. This is a great inclusion to this device. All right, so let's go ahead and take a picture of the OnePlus 12. We're going to talk about the camera. So this is probably my favorite part of this particular foldable, because this particular foldable has Hasselblad tuned cameras just like the OnePlus 12, but it has flagship level cameras. Just the level of detail on this camera is just so much better than a lot of the other foldable phones out there that it's just not even funny anymore. So while it doesn't have as rich of colors as some other cameras out there in terms of like saturation, it's more of a natural look. I still really prefer all the features that come here. The master mode, the video modes are good. The portrait mode is good. I just don't feel like I'm getting a second-rate camera for a foldable. This one I feel like I'm getting a top tier level. You can also see even the inner foldable screen camera is very good because the camera is not under display. So that's very good. You can also change your depth of fields here on the inside, and then the front camera as well on the outer panel is also pretty good. So this is what I'm saying. The theme of this phone is you're not settling. The never settle branding is legitimate here. I don't feel like I'm really settling on much here. When it comes to battery, we are looking at a 4805 milliamp hour battery in here, and it's non-removable. It is a 67 watt wireless charging capabilities here, but you can do 100% in about 42 minutes. And it does have reverse wired charging as well. So that's through the USB-C. Pretty cool. Also, this device right here definitely has pretty solid battery. This is near a 5,000. It's not as good as the OnePlus 12, but it's definitely better than some other foldables on the market for sure. So it's pretty good. I would say that when it's opened up though, and you're really pushing it hard, high brightness, lots of entertainment, it drains kind of fast on the inner display with heavier usage, but on the outer display throughout the day, you're going to have no major issues making it. And then you'll have plenty of juice at night to go ahead and consume some content. But because it charges so darn fast with OnePlus's proprietary fast SuperVOOC charging, the thing is just very quick. You know, it just charges incredibly fast. And the battery is just not an issue because of super fast charging. You come home, you top it up in like 25, 30 minutes, and you got so much battery, you don't got to worry about it. So it's not a problem. Battery is solid. This phone also has cinematic grade audio that comes out of the bottom and on the top here, especially when open, sounds very, very good on this phone. In addition, if you go up in the settings over here, you'll see there is an ability to turn on Dolby Atmos mode. It's going to be in my toggles right here. You can turn that on, and you have different selections of scenes you can do, including our sound profiles, smart movie, gaming, and music modes, and they're going to work really well with those OnePlus Buds 2 Pro or some of the other buds that are in the lineup right now. They'll be just fine for you. So definitely, I do think this is going to be a really good audio experience, whether you're using the outer speakers or if you're using the actual Dolby Atmos and all that good stuff. So thumbs up for the audio. It's been a good experience. Call quality hasn't given me any issues, nor have I had major issues with reception strength. But do check the bands. Go to the website and go to the specs and check the bands. Make sure your bands for your carrier are supported to make sure this phone's going to work out for you. But I can tell you from experience using this since the original one came out, it's been pretty darn good. So wrapping up here with the OnePlus Open Apex Edition. It's nice to see a new version of storage for what was already an amazing foldable. It's nice to see a beautiful new color here in red, and this is definitely now my favorite color because this red is more subtle than a zingy red. It's just a really deep red. It's a beautiful color. And then we have this nice accented crimson shadow around the edges. It goes well, very well together, including the Hasselblad branding camera right there, which is what this red is inspired by. This is a highly competitive phone, I still feel like, in this space, especially since OnePlus shook it up last year, giving the competition, putting them on their heels a little bit to give you a wider inner display. And now look at the foldables this year coming out with more wider inner displays and wider outer displays. So I feel like they became a leader in this space very quickly, almost overnight, since they created this device. But the competition is getting stiffer, and I do want to see improvements to this foldable phone. And the ones that I recommend and I want to see is I want to see a larger outer display. I want to see a 6.6 to 7 inch outer panel, closer to that of like a 6.7 inch phone, like a OnePlus size, like this size screen on the outside. Well, also I want to see a thinner device while closed. At the same time, I also want to see this device continue to carry over its really nice high-end specs, because that has been great. But I also want to see more AI enhancements. There are some AI features you can use, like with photos, you can take out some images in the background, take some background stuff out, but it's not really a ton of AI going on here. It does have the specs to support using a lot of AI-based applications and stuff like that, but those are through the cloud, so it's not built right in. The device itself, though, is just really, really strong. And those are some of the few upgrades I would like to see. I would like to see also stylus support, like I said before, and a few more major upgrades. But other than that, this is a very appealing phone, and I definitely think it's a winner. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Are you picking one up? Are you going to skip this one? Are you going to get a different version or a different color of this product? Before we head up out of here, let me go ahead and give you a few close-up shots of this crimson red right here. You can see a spherical lens, just absolutely stunning right there. You can see the flash separated from the camera. I kind of like that. Also, if we take a look here, fully flat closed. And then you can see right there the crimson shadow right there. Very nice. The bump, there's a closer look at the camera bump. Let me back it out a bit to get more in focus. And then at the bottom, there's another close-up look. Speakers lined up perfectly, so good attention to detail here. Let's bring it off to this side. There's that diamond cut orange accented slider. Volume rockers. Power button. Pretty good. Let me give you some more close-ups when it's opened up. You can see, very flat. We don't have any wobble on the table besides the camera. Let me go ahead and also show you the single spine hinge right there. Very nice. Very nice. So let's wrap it up. I'll catch you on the next one. Thank you very much for watching. Be sure to be well and subscribe for more. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Nick here. Be sure to be well, and peace.